Alright, and we should be live. So, how are you all doing? I think we got one of you right now, and some are joining in. There are also some coming in from the notifications, so welcome. And in this stream, we'll be looking over Unreal Engine 5. So, this just dropped like 2 hours ago, so that's pretty damn impressive, and the stuff you can do with it is pretty insane. So, if you also want to try it out, it is really easy. Just open up the Epic Games Launcher and in the settings update to the latest version. And then here you can see Unreal Engine 5. Tap it, click download early access and you can access it. You can also access the source code, which is very nice. And there's documentation, which I might need to get because I am a Unity developer. I've been developing games in Unity for about 1.5 years now, a bit more. And I haven't touched Unreal that much. I've done a small project in it, but again, not that much, so most of the things will be pretty new for me. So I also got the sample project loaded, and this is a pretty big sample. Oh, wait, no, I don't want to download it again. Where to get to the information? Oh, here it is. So Valley of the Ancient is a pretty cool sample scene. It is pretty hefty. So the target PC specs are a 12-core CPU, and I think this is 12-threaded, not really a 12-core. It runs fine on my 5800H, and I'm using a laptop. 64 gigabytes of RAM. I have just 32, which is the minimum, and a 2080. I got a 3060 on my laptop, so the actual speeds are a bit worse, I think, but it's still pretty good. And it also says here it recommends 8 gigabytes of VRAM. I don't have 8 gigabytes, and in the sample scene, sometimes it does show up that I don't have 8 gigabytes. So there's some stutter there, but hey, that's kind of expected. Like this is a really big project. So first, let's actually launch Unreal 5, and then I will open up the Valley of the Ancient to actually show off some of the main things. So the UI has changed. There is Lumen, which is the lighting system, also for global illumination, which isn't fully real time. It's pretty cool. So here I can create a new one. Alright, let's start. I really have no idea what to start with. Sure, let's start with the first person one. Blueprint, desktop, maximum quality. And yeah, we want ray tracing. Of course we do. Stream test. And let's hit create. So it is in documents right now. I don't want it there. Let's put it in game dev in Unreal. And yeah, Ace, definitely stick to Unreal Engine 4 for now. It is in early access and not really ready for production. You can test it out, so if you copy over your game files and make a backup, you can just try it out. But it really is not ready for production yet, so if you're working in Unreal 4, just wait until the proper release is there, and it should be pretty compatible between. So if you got an Unreal 4 project, it should work in Unreal 5 once it is properly released. And I think in late 2021 it will release fully. I'm not too sure. And actually, my computer handled Unreal 5 a bit better than 4. For me, the boot up times and stuff were a little faster. It could just be like a bit of luck. But yeah, Unreal still is quite heavy, and it's pretty known for that. Alright, so while this is opening up, we got 7 viewers. That is pretty damn good. Alright, while this is loading up, let's also open up the other project in the background. I really should have opened these in the background at first. It's in the library, the Valley of the Ancient. And this one actually did start up rather quickly, I think. And also a quick question for the people watching the stream, is the audio alright? Please answer that in chat. I got a playlist playing and I'm not too sure how it is on stream. Alright, so here we are in the demo scene, and this is pretty insane, so here's like how to load it. And there is a lot of awesome stuff. There's also the documentation and video of Unreal themselves. If you're interested, just check that out. I'm not going to cover all the small details right here. I'm just going to explore what they offer and maybe mess around with some stuff. So that's for now. Let's load Ancient World. So this project is basically made to show off what Unreal 5 can do and what it can't. And it just looks really cool. The world is absolutely massive. So yeah. And also, Nanite is supported by NVIDIA Maxwell and AMD GCN architectures. So I think Maxwell is a GTX 900 series. Let me Google that real quick. Yeah, Maxwell is the GeForce 900 series, so that's actually pretty old. It's not that old, but that such a new technology is supported is pretty cool. I did not expect it. I really thought it would make use of like resizable bar or something. And also I already tested it out. The performance is also pretty alright for the hard drive. So there were some speculations that the new Nanite would use that it would use a lot of SSD resources, but it does not. There are some peaks which are like 100 megabytes per second, but that's basically it, and it's quite steady otherwise. And there are some other improvements for Unreal. As you can see, the layout's different. It is more flat. I personally prefer this over the 3D-ish style of Unreal 4, but that's a preference. So there's more graphic stuff like Nanite and global illumination. There's new physics, so the chaos system is fully integrated, at least it should be. And there are also some workflow improvements, some animation improvements. So it is an actual quite big update. So to see what's different, just check out the video that they put out. And let me just open it up in the background. So YouTube and Unreal Engine 5. Oh, nice. If I look for Unreal Engine 5 Early Access, I'm the third video. That is pretty cool. So I can't really see the video of Unreal themselves. That's quite annoying. But if you just look at their site, you will be able to find it, I'm quite sure. Alright, so we are loaded now. It's still loading in all the textures. There we go. And you'll see the global illumination is baked in real time. So it is not fully real time, but actually some baking is involved, which is quite good to know. Let's also enable the performance so we can see the FPS. Oh, here, show FPS, so you can see it right here. I'm not sure what my system is doing. It should perform a bit better. Or it's just... No, what's happening? Oh, it's compiling shaders in the background. Oh, that's my other project. Fair enough, that's fine. How I noticed, if I have like this here and put it up, you can see the shadow. If you look under it, if you put it closer, you'll see it gets darker. And when you put it up, it will take a second to get darker. So that means it's not fully real time, but it does bake real time. And if you would move stuff around, that would actually work. So this isn't really a complaint. This is just something I noticed and want to show. But it's still pretty cool that they can actually bake this in real time without any major performance hits. That's pretty awesome. And here it's still compiling all the shaders. There are quite some shaders, and let me open up the chat again. And hello, welcome to the stream. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping the shaders are being compiled rather quickly, because I really want to show this off. When you hit play, it's really amazing. One thing I did notice, like you can go to the Nanite view, so the Nanite visualization and the overview. On the top left, you can see all the triangles. So you will see there are millions of triangles in the scene, which is quite impressive, not gonna lie. And then there are the clusters, and I think the clusters are the parts that actually make the details. So some further away have less detail, and I'm not quite sure about this. This is what I expect. I am not the technical yet. Maybe in the future I will look into it. It's not a priority. But one thing I did notice is that it kind of looks like a photo scan. And this isn't the bad thing. But if you look really close, you will see the stones are not separate stones, but they flow over into the environment. This is just some nitpicking. It really does look amazing. Especially if you're a bit up. Like if you have a first-person camera, this would look insane. But really up close you can kind of see it and what it does. But that also could just be the asset, since all of these things are just loaded into one plane. And no, I'm not having too many apps open. There is another project being compiled in the background, which is taking up a lot of resources. But hey, we can also look at the level blueprint. I have not yet looked into this, so I'm quite curious how it looks. Alright, so this is the actual level. It's not that intense. You're right, this is not that intense. I'm not familiar with all the views yet, but since it's like a showcase scene, I'm quite guessing it's showing a lot of overdraw. What do you mean with showing a lot of overdraw? Like this is how it renders Nanite, so the new, like having 1 million polys in a single object. And I'm also wondering how much of a difference it would be if it was optimized differently. So right now, if you sometimes go into the ground, you can see like multiple layers. And aren't all of those supposed to be rendered? Or does it also now have automatic occlusion? If so, that also would be amazing. Then you would have an auto LOD system, which is basically Nanite. And also an automatic occlusion system, but I don't think that's actually the case. But I'm not sure how it renders the stuff on the bottom. So yeah, this is kind of cool. So you can really see if you put this at triangles, like every different color is a triangle in the scene. So there are actually millions of triangles right here. So that's really impressive that it runs at still a fairly good FPS. While also compiling shaders. Alright, maybe I should just quit this. Alright, are we back up to performance? Not yet. And hi Jess, welcome to the stream. And it's why I just enjoy the pretty visuals. It really looks insane. Is it still compiling in the background? Yeah, it is. This project is not compiling, so I'm not sure why it is still going. That's a bit worrisome. Can I just close all these? Oh, they're in the background. Oh, that's pretty annoying. Alright, will this crash if I close them all? I don't think so. Yeah, this project basically would not run in Unreal 4. Like, that's one of the things. You can have, like, 100 different meshes with each having 16 million polygons in Unreal 5. Which is really impressive. That would not run in any game engine. So not Unity, also not Unreal 4. That would also either be at, like, 5 FPS. And an Unreal 4 versus 5 comparison would be really cool, but I have not used both engines that much. So it would not be accurate at all. And if you're interested in like the new things, there's a cool video of the Unreal YouTube channel. And also in the announcement videos there was some interesting stuff there. Is it still compiling? What on earth is it compiling still? Alright, I might just restart the project. Don't save. Please stop compiling. What? What? Oh boy. I might have done something wrong. I also can't end these for some reason. Oh, no, it just restarts. Unreal why you do this. Technical difficulties, definitely. I think it just opens up a new thing. Yeah, I already pressed delete and stuff. Let's ask Google. Oh, it's going down. It's going down. Is it getting done? I think they're at 0% and they're cleaning up. I think we're good. Not using all the things now. Stream test. It's still running in the background. Damn it, I closed it. That's why it was doing this. It is just opening in the background secretly. Why you do this in real? Well, let's end this. And oh, yeah, it didn't yet failed. Good. Please do fail. And we're back in business. Yeah, this looks better. Alright, sorry for that. I did not expect it to compel to the background. I shouldn't have messed with two projects at the same time. Also did not expect the shader loading to take that long. I think it's normal. When you close it, it just continues opening the project in the background. I'm not 100% sure. But now we can finally look like at the demo scene they provided. So do know, my laptop I just bought is still under the minimum requirements. That's a big yikes. Like, this scene is really heavy to run. Alright, so let's wait for this to open up. And then we can look at it at its full glory. So also a really interesting thing, you have Quixel Bridge, so you can just import mega scans directly from Quixel, which is also really impressive. So here we see the beautiful global illumination baking again. And I also pull up my performance stats right here. So you can see it is already pretty heavy on the memory. And the GPU is still doing quite alright, until I hit play. So let's show the FPS, so you'll see it right here. I'm also streaming, so that does not help with performance at all. And hopefully it does not crash. It did it only 2 times. So let's be hopeful here. Ah, it works. Awesome. So right here's the scene. You can see the real-time ray tracing, like in the reflection on the rocks. That works pretty good. I think my laptop is like blowing up right now, but that's fine. We're hitting 30 FPS, which is still pretty cool. And Young, your laptop should be able to run it just like mine. We have similar specs, although your GPU should be better. So you should be good. So yeah, right here the GPU was almost maxed out, memory is pretty heavy, and CPU was quite alright. But I'm hitting my VRAM limit, so that's quite annoying. So let's open up the drone. And sometimes in the top left you will see some error messages. That I'm out of VRAM. That's why it is lagging. But right now we have a solid 40 FPS, and this is just real time, and it just looks impressive. Like, there's a lot of motion blur, but that's fine for this. Like, you can come really close and it looks amazing until you actually are like into it. Oh, this does not have collision. Sure. But yeah, these are just like film ready, cinema ready assets just in a game engine. So that's really impressive. So again, close up, I'm not too much of a fan, but of course, like, if you hand make this, it should be absolutely fine. I think these actually are photo scans. And look how fast you can just go through the environment. And it doesn't lag that much. Like, I'm sometimes dipping below 30, but most of the time it's not. This is definitely not a project I made. This is the demo showcase on of the Unreal team to show what the engine could do. I think if I could make this, I wouldn't be streaming right now and probably be giving a talk somewhere because it's just launched. But yeah, this stuff is definitely possible. I think most of these are Megastore assets, which means you can just drag and drop them and it should work just fine. So for now, let's return. Also, these loading speeds are incredible. And let's get up and move. So one thing I did notice, the bodies, you can animate using interconnects. I'm not really sure what's the exact term for it. The short term is IK. And it basically meant that there would be perfect interactions between limbs, so your feet and your hands, and walls and the ground. I did notice here it can clip through the ground sometimes. And that's actually something I didn't really expect. So most of the time it's absolutely perfect. Like that rock is just great. But on some specific parts it actually slips through. This is kind of nitpicking, like here it's through the ground. But I'm still really impressed, not gonna lie. So yeah, let's interact here. And let's go to the dark side. So every time you restart this needs to load some resources again, and this does take a while. And it definitely has potential. And this scene, I doubt it can be optimized further. Like if you do some low poly stuff, it can run absolutely fine. But this is just drag and drop and it works. And like having multi-millions of polygons while at 30 FPS is still really impressive. There are not many game engines that can pull it off. So right now we are still waiting for the scene to load. And I think it's doing something. It's preparing the textures. Yep, it's loading. And this uses the data layers, which I also will show in just a second. Let's hope it finishes quickly. And the full release is, I think, the end of 2021. And like this, we just switch the whole scene. So again, this looks really impressive. The character is alright, but it is not... I expect it to be a bit more detailed. Again, really nitpicking, the shadow is pretty good. There's not a lot of detail in the clothing. There's cloth physics in the scarf, and also I think wind physics. And of course this is just a demo project. Also, if you want to download this project is 100 gigabytes and it needs a total of 200 gigs to be on your hard drive, so prepare for that. And here's the shooting thing. And you can see like the lighting and the particle effects look amazing. I think that used the new physics system. And I also hope they release the actual demos they released for the announcement. It would be really awesome to like poke around in there and see how the performance is on hardware. Oh yeah, that's also something to show. The jumping on these things, that is procedurally animated. So your foot and your hands should not clip through the actual object. So that's pretty cool. Right here there will be some heavy stuff to render. So let's do this. And you can definitely convert Unreal 4 to 5. They promise that it should be upgradable without any issues. And here's the big boss. And you see the top left. I'm about a gigabyte over my VRAM budget, which means it will lag a lot. And this is quite loud. Damn. So this is not the fault of the optimization. I just like using the stuff having the VRAM for this. It should lower down once I'm in game again, hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. So yeah. Also the animation of this is done in engine, so this is not animated like in Blender. This is actually done in the engine. And also the audio is procedurally generated from the engine, so that's really cool. So yeah, let's take it down. So yeah, that's really impressive. And let's kill this motherfucker. Oh, I'll put down... Oh, it is lagging. No! No, I quit it! Just when it was about to stop. Thanks for telling me it was too loud. We have to play through it again. We have to wonder the pretty visuals again. That's a shame. It takes too long to load. Let's just speedrun through this right now. Alright, we're back in game. Alright, so let's launch drone. Oh, we should actually do a proper speedrun of this to finish it as quickly as possible. That would be quite hard actually with the performance. How would you counter that? Like the loading and stuff. Yeah, let's interact. I think the loading should be a bit faster now, since we have done this one time already. Like it should have cached some stuff. Oh, that's a lot faster. Damn. And that should be the actual in-game speed. Like you just transfer from one world to another in like 4 seconds. Unreal 5 is not 100 gigs, this project alone is. This project takes up about 200 gigabytes. Not sure how big Unreal 5 is, I think it is 70 gigs. And yes, this project is 200 gigabytes. Like the project itself is 100 and it needs to cache another 100 gigs. So that's quite some. But Unreal 5 is I think 70, maybe 75, not too sure. So yeah, let's get through this. And if you look at FPS right now, it is about right about 30. But when I'm not recording and streaming, it's actually a lot better. So do keep that in mind, that performance is a bit better for me, I think. Most of the time it was around 50 FPS, which was really impressive. Yeah, especially with like the high-res environment. Like I can't switch the modes right now, but this also has like millions of polygons. And also the interesting thing about Nanite, the objects in the background still have millions of polygons. It does not use any LODs, which is amazing. So performance is still pretty good, like if it renders really far. So that's quite cool. So yeah, let's actually finish this for real this time. And also the lighting just is beautiful. Like if you lighten this up, and like the shadows, which are, I think, properly done. Yeah. It doesn't cast shadows through the rock. I'm quite surprised with that. Then it does not use ray tracing, right? It should cast a shadow there. Alright, yeah. So for my speed run, not going that great. And let's lag my computer. Yep, there we go. So far 300 megabytes over the budget. That's doable. This already renders a lot better than Cyberpunk on the PS4. So that's really good. So let's do this. Kill the bitch. Just missed. There we go. Ah, yeah. I'm also not sure like what the impact is of having high poly things in the background. The thing about Nanite, it shouldn't matter. Like that's the thing, they regenerate the whole thing. Not that laggy in the stream now, honestly. Yeah, it does quite alright. 17 FPS. So again, it's better than Cyberpunk. So yeah, this thing is also quite beautiful. I can't explore that much here. That's quite sad. But yeah, this just looks insane. I'm a bit sad that it doesn't cast any shadows though. But again, I'm not sure if I wanted to cast shadows since it's, yeah, already at like 25 FPS right now. But yeah, this is the demo scene. It's pretty alright, and it's really cool. So I think, first of all, let's look at how they manage the scene switch. Also, for working with multiple people on a project, if you place props, it does not change the extra world file, but it makes a new file. And because of this, it is really easy to collaborate with many people. So if you use GitHub, for example, then yeah, it's pretty easy to collaborate now. That's a lot better. And how does Nanite work? I have no idea, and no one does. The source code is available now, so I do expect people to like look into it. But at this moment, I think no one really knows how it works. They do have an alright explanation how it works in the tech demo, so when it was announced. But basically, these are all the triangles. Like, every color is a triangle in this view. So if I go to the triangles, like every color is one triangle. Even in the background, it still has like a ton of triangles. And it converts all that to something which is renderable. And I'm not sure how. I definitely want to know, but I think it's quite hard to do. So that's the basics, and how they change the world. So the player actually stays in the same space. They enable the dark world here, and now it updates the cells. It adds some more stuff. The scene is a bit changed, and they disable the campfire. And right now we got the actual scene in all its glory. So you can see it's really easy to change this. And CIAs. And also like the fog and so, the fog, etc. Just switch to Dutch there. It's quite alright. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's just really easy to switch it around. Oh, you can actually see the baking really easily. That's interesting. So once this enables, you can see the global illumination being baked in real time. Alright, you done? Yeah. Ah, that's really interesting. That is very good to know though. So it's not actually fully real time. What do you mean, what are the faces? Like the boxes around here? Or did I miss something? Meanwhile, let's search for some lights. Again, I haven't really used this at all. So we got a point light here. Not sure where it is. There's a directional light here which is unloaded, so that should be from the dark world. Here's a directional light. And if we rotate this, does it change it in scene? So far I don't see it change. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's pretty. Alright, let's change it just slightly. So you see the shadows do have to be baked. And it just gets progressively darker. Oh, I think those faces, I think they're just placeholders to actually see what is happening. So yeah, you can definitely see that there definitely is some baking around here. But it does look really good. Like if the sun just moves slowly, that I can't go that slow here. Like it should just go really fluent and you shouldn't notice it at all. So that's really impressive. And also for the performance in editor, my GPU is maxed out, my VRAM is maxed out, my memory is quite high, 16 gigabytes is cutting it a bit. My CPU is quite good, so that's nice to see. So I do have a quite high-end CPU, but like the last gen, so the i7-9750H, it should also work just fine. And the SSD really is not used that much. So that's, again, I'm really impressed with that, and I'm not sure how they do it. Like, one of the things about Nanite, I think it was just many people thought that it would use a lot of SSD resources, but it does not. Changing the worlds does use quite some speed, but hey, if you have a transition between them, it should work fine. But yeah, let's mess around with some with the lights, because I'm still quite intrigued like how this works. So yeah, let's get some good shadow in here. That's quite alright. We can really see the difference now between light and shadow. And if you change the light to really red. Okay, that... Oh, it updates now. Oh, that's really cool. This looks really horrifying. And also see, yeah. Alright, so again, you change the color and it needs to update slowly. It just slowly transitions to something which is accurate. Alright, that's pretty cool, not gonna lie. It looks so weird when you just switch suddenly. Like, go from really blue, so the shadow becomes blue. It's actually quite dark. You switch to white. Ah, that actually kind of matched up. But alright, that's pretty cool to see. Intensity, this will become just really bright, I think, yeah. Oh, this is really hurting my eyes. Oh, that's too dark. Oh, that's also cool, you can just see it fade out. Oh, so it uses different points, I think. Yeah, so it's not one time at all, it uses just small adjustments. Alright, good to know. Let's put this to like 2. That should be fine, right? Once it's back in. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, for the soft shadows, it can cast shadows. Oh, that looks really weird. Now the shadows are... I'm not too sure. Let's just put it back there. The indirect shadow multiplier. Does it do something? Not really. I mean, I'm not now. What else is in there? Let's see, that's transition, the atmosphere. Also pretty cool to have the sun being in the cloud. Also cast shadows on the clouds. That would be interesting. I don't see a difference at all. Sad. Oh, whoa, that looks really good. If you have the clouds cast the shadow. That looks insanely good. Not gonna lie, this looks way more realistic. Oh, that's amazing. You still see the shadows, but it also just blends in a bit better. Oh, that's cool. So, cast shadows on the atmosphere? What does that do? Not much. You can change the colors of the clouds. Sure, this doesn't look weird at all. Oh, we got before. Hey, where did it go? Damn it. I saw performance. I want to look at the performance. Wait, where did it go? Damn it. Oh, here it is. So the max dwell distance. It is at 0. If you change this, what does it do? Not a whole lot. Sure, let's put it back. Not sure if there's anything more interesting in here. Just want to see like how it worked. So LOD is the details at low. What does this change? It's a sun. Alright, so that's pretty cool. So really, I have no clue where the settings are hidden. I just kind of got used to Unreal 4, and now everything is all over the place again. So we have content here, which is quite useful, of course. Here are the blueprints. And I think maybe the audio. Oh, it's a state volume. I don't want that now. But you can really just see everything here, which is pretty cool. So here's the character itself, defaulting, which is the jumping, I think. But sure, let's open up the echo character. So here's the input handling, mouse input, gamepad. And this is pretty simple so far. I think it's sent to another script, probably for animation. So let's put up this. So yeah, if there is something you want me to check out, do let it know in the chat. I am actively reading it. I'm also going to check my Discord real quick if someone sends a message. I don't think so. I think I'm good. Alright, cool. Alright, autosave, sure, I'll take it. So what's on content? Not too sure. So I definitely want to mess around with some settings now. I think that's quite cool to look at, but I'm not sure where they are now. Recent projects, no. Edits, maybe. Project settings, there we go. This looks more like it. So that's a publisher. Oh yeah, just fill out my own copyright in here. Not sure if they would appreciate that. Here's the rendering, and not that important. I want the extra rendering of the game. So here's collision. Oh, the chaos solver. Is it used? I think so. Is it? I don't think so. Because that is something I want to look into. Like, I really like making VR games and like making a mass destruction VR game. So like everything is using the chaos physics system and everything just falls down really realistic and everything is destructible. That would be awesome. So here we got rendering. So here's mobile. Don't really care for mobile. Culling, occlusion culling is on. I'm not sure if it is done automatically. I'm not too sure. And then again, if it is, like these are static, I think. If they are static, does it render the full object behind it? Like if there are multiple layers like there are here. Let's make this a bit smaller. Oh. Like in many instances, there are multiple layers stacked upon each other. So here you can see one top layer and one bottom layer. Does it also kill part of the mesh or not at all? That's something I really find interesting, but I'm not sure yet. Brittle textures, whatever. Alright, global illumination is on Lumen. So you got screen space. Alright, let's just try to see what happens. Can I see the difference in Lumen? Alright, so this is Lumen. It looks quite cool. Let's also get the FPS into the image. Like if I'm moving around, it's around 30 now. And if I do screen space, performance is about the same. And it also looks pretty good. If I pull this up. Oh, I think is this using ray tracing? I'm not sure. But it does look like it kind of fades away. Oh, I don't think I like this now. You really see the faded pattern. It almost becomes transparent, it looks like. I think Lumen is definitely better here. Yeah, I think it's faster. It still does the same thing. Like the shadows are still rendered differently. Oh, that's kind of interesting. And also ray traced is deprecated. That's also really cool. Like ray tracing is not yet standard at all. And that's already deprecated. Damn. I did not expect that to happen. I thought ray tracing was still like a step upwards, but no. Lumen is just the new ray tracing. Oh, ray tracing also does the same. Alright, alright. That's pretty cool. So Lumen, yeah, of course it is. Oh, and Lumen is also used for the reflections. So you can also go to the reflection here. Now you see everything being reflected, and I did not know this was real time. But I guess it is. Is this also being baked if I put up something? Oh, that's a bit bigger one. I can't really see. Maybe they are being baked. I'm not sure. Because if we have none... oh, it still does like the weird shimmer. But now you see it doesn't reflect anything at all. You have Lumen, which does actually reflect stuff. Of course, it's really rough. Like that's the main thing. But hey, let's look further. You got screen space, and I think screen space is the most realistic one because it uses ray tracing. Again, do not quote me on this. I'm not sure at all. Like the thing is, it makes it more more white, which is interesting. And again, ray tracing is deprecated. That's really insane. I'm not too sure what screen space does here. Or is it just like the regular real-time thing? Let's go to the lit view. So you got Lumen here, let it bake for a second, of course. Alright. And let's change to screen space. Oh, you don't see it here at all. So here's the resolution, let's keep it on that. Why is this not enabled? I do have hardware acceleration for ray tracing. Is it enabled by default? Hardware ray tracing has significant scene update costs. Sure, but what? Detail tracing, I'm not too sure what this does. Does it change anything? Not really. Let's keep it at global tracing then. Alright, not too sure why this isn't enabled. Because my GPU and the 3060 definitely should support it. So the shadow maps. So it does use the beta shadow maps. But I don't think it actually changes much. So here's the hardware rate. Oh, support hardware ray tracing. Ah. Now we're talking. Okay, I'm not sure if it changes anything at all. Not gonna lie. Oh, you do need the actual scene to also have these settings enabled. So using hardware ray tracing should like help out here, I think. Sure, let's just check it out. What could happen? Alright, so it's still loading. Right now checking out the support hardware ray tracing, which my 3060 should support. It shouldn't be the best performance, that's for sure. So right now I got around like 13 FPS. So I think this is a lot worse. Can I just toggle this while playing? Nope. Let's see how it performs now. Also could very well be that it's just like not working right now. Let's hope it doesn't crash. I would not appreciate that at all. Oh, right now it's a lot like 25. Alright, so let's quit out of that. But why does it perform worse when I use hardware? Sorry, let's read this. Use hardware ray tracing for the Lumen features, which is supported by the video card and operating system and RHI. Lumen may fall back to software ray tracing otherwise. Note, has a significant update cost for the scene with more than 10k instances. This scene may have more than 10k instances. There are like, not 10k. Why does this perform worse? That's really interesting. Alright, let's try that again. Maybe it just... oh! Look at the bottom right. I gotta restart the editor for it to apply. Now it just falls back to the software ray tracing. Ah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just an idiot. Ray trace shadows, I don't think I want that. Like, we got this and it looks really pretty. Software ray tracing, sure. Allow static lights. Oh, that's for light baking. So you can use forward shading, level 5. Not that interested right now. I think those basic settings they should have figured out by now. So it does use ambient occlusion, which is really cool. That's really good for detail. Motion blur is on. I kind of want to try it without it. Like to see how good or bad it is. I really don't like motion blur. And it does use TAA. I think this is a new thing. No, that's... I heard them talk about it in the latest video from Unreal. About TAA. That it like renders 4K at the cost of 1080p. So kind of like the OSS, but I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on this. Also, LOD tethering is not being used because we use Nanite. That's awesome. Particle stuff. Sure, VR. Oh, That would be really cool to try this in VR. It would perform horrible. But hey, it would work, I guess. That's also something to like interesting, like Lumen, how it would perform in VR. Like you render it like 2 times because you have 2 screens or eyes. Not too sure. Yeah, of course, all of these things are enabled. But hey, let's restart. I think the settings are good for hardware ray tracing now. So yeah, support it and accelerate it. Yeah, I think we want to use this. Yeah, that's this. Yeah, let's not use ray trace shadows yet. So restart now. Yeah, let's go. And sure, let's save them. Why not? Also, really like this cover art. It looks really good. Like, this looks like it has a whole game going for it. Well, it's just this demo. There's a lot of detail into this. And also, if you are still watching the stream, do let me know in the chat. I have not seen many people. Alright, so it's compiling again. Let's hope it finishes rather quickly. I think it should. This project does not take that long to open, which is again really impressive, not gonna lie. Alright, 400 shaders to go. 300. 200. Yep, keep on going. 100, let's go. Just open, damn it. I got a stream to run. And it's compiling more shaders. Of course it is. And hi. We got someone else in the chat. Amazing. How many messages can we get in the chat before it loads? Right now, just spam in the chat and see like how long it takes. Right now it's still loading, so you still got a chance. Oh boy, it's loading 4,000 shaders. Well, I think we got quite some comments in there then. Let me turn up the music a little while we're waiting. Why not? I think this should be a bit better. Meanwhile, totally not grabbing some candy. Alright, it is good that they put on the Unreal 4 page that Unreal 5 also is in early access. Oh yeah, also MetaHuman is live. Also definitely something I want to try out. If you want to see MetaHuman in another stream or in a video, do let me know right now in the chat. I'm really curious. So do tell me. Let's actually look at the marketplace if there's anything Unreal 5 themed. Nothing should be like made for it yet. No, definitely not. Alright, yeah. So I do have quite some assets here, that's fine. Also, one thing that would work pretty well, I think, is... where is it? Yeah, Australia. It was free like last month. I'm not sure if it's still free. It's not officially supported, that's of course really normal. But it is really detailed. And it looks amazing. Like, to port this into Unreal 5 and don't use any LODs, I think it would look amazing. I'm quite sure it does. This is something I might just try out. Like, the details in this are really cool. Meanwhile, where's it going? It's still at 3,500 shaders. Boy. Yeah, sure. So that's also a thing. Like, you can, if you have a pack with LODs and there's one really, really high resolution LOD, you can just put it into an engine and just disable the LODs. That's also amazing. I think it's really cool to work with and also a lot easier. Especially if this like becomes more mainstream. Because I'm not sure how hard this is to run on lower poly models. So if you got like a regular model, let's say, if that's also like really heavy to run, or if the performance is just alright. Like that is something that, yeah, it's just something which we don't know yet. Like, is Nanite just really heavy to run? And is it like the same performance for basically every amount of polys? Or is like an extremely high poly model still like a lot heavier? So again, that is something that, yeah, maybe benchmark would be cool. I can definitely look into this, so just use some assets I found online, like this low poly style. Not sure if it has a demo scene, but if it does, it should have a lot less polys than what we're looking at right now. Like, a lot less. So yeah, that would be interesting to see like how it would perform with a more low poly style and if it would actually improve it. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, I think. So yeah, they're still loading. Also updated my Unreal. Twinmotion also has the 2021 release, so that's really cool. I actually use this for VR, so rendering something in VR for a project. So again, that's also pretty cool. It does have really nice quality. Like, it's really realistic. And yeah, of course, here's the Unreal 5. Oh, we also have the documentation. We have not looked at that yet. Alright, so welcome. Release notes, migration guide. That's all really cool. Oh, the new editor. Rendering features. Oh boy, there are a lot of new things. Sure, let's browse through them. Is it right for you? Working on other games with similar experiences. Significant experience with Unreal 4. Oops. I kind of missed out on this. I barely used Unreal 4. Yeah, that's also something to look into. Like, you're planning to release it in late 2020 or later. Like, that's the time that big projects could be ported to Unreal 5. Like, to try out and see if it actually would be good. And of course, rough edges, like, it's a snapshot, it's early access. Of course, there are a ton of bugs. That should be pretty normal. Yeah, that's getting it. Hardware, again, a GTX 1080. That was one of the highest end cards like 2 generations ago. But that's for Nanite and Lumen. So that's also real-time global illumination and a lot of polygons on a 1080. If you look at it that way, no one would have thought it would be at least possible at the time. And yeah, of course, if you got feedback, put it there. Currently, haven't found any. So here's the migration, the new editor. I think it looks a lot better and cleaner, not gonna lie. So yeah, you got further shadow maps. There's uniformly removing important detail. Alright, so this is ray traced shadow maps, I think. Oh, that's a lot better. But I mean, it is kind of expected if you use ray traced maps for this. But hey, that's pretty cool. I think it matters most for like the small details, like in the tiles and in the background. Like, the shadows here also look insanely better. So here's oh! So the TIA we were looking at, it is something new. So it's really, yeah, Nanite's really demanding. It places the temporal AA fry platforms. So it approaches the quality of 4K, while the input resolution is 1080p. So that's pretty cool. That's also why the quality would be a bit wonky, maybe? I don't know. So I am really curious, like, how good this actually is. Because DLSS is really good, but the first version of DLSS was not that great. Basically look like smearing Vaseline over a screen. Less ghosting, that's really, really good to have. Yeah, reduce flickering, sure. Yeah, so we got DirectX 11, 12, Vulkan, the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Metal coming soon, so this is not yet for macOS. Also, are there any Macs that can run this except for the Mac Pro? Not too sure. And there's shaders especially for the PS5 and Xbox Series X, so that's also really cool. This also could mean that the RDNA 2 architecture of AMD could be better. Not too sure. Oh damn, the performance improvement is insane. Like it goes from 18 to 43. Yeah, this is the world partitions. This is so you can edit it with multiple people. You can just load in the chunks you want to work on and then that should work. Data layers, already covered that in the video. So you got LODs. Sure, not too sure what this is about. Level in sync, again not sure. I'm not an expert at all on this. So there are some animation features which are pretty nice. So the IK plugin has been improved, that's also really cool. And my computer is freezing. Oh boy. Please don't crash on me. Is OBS still running? Yep, it is. Oh, did my Chrome just crash? Oh, it loaded up. Of course it did. Let's turn down the audio then. Oh, it was still quite loud. I'm sorry. This should be good for the background. So hey, let's see how it runs now. We enabled hardware acceleration. Quite curious. So content. The maps. Oh, it's in front of it. Maps. Ancient world. So now it should support hardware acceleration. I think. Can't be too sure on this. But if it does, it would be quite impressive. Like, if it actually improves the performance a lot. That would also answer the question, do you need a really high-end GPU? Oh, also close the chat, I see now. Is there anything said? My Mac won't run this. Yeah, I also don't think so. A Mac Pro would run this, but like a MacBook, maybe the highest end one would run it alright, but I'm really not too sure. Oh damn, I've also been streaming for like almost 1.5 hours. That's pretty long. Not sure how much longer I will stay in. So again, if you want to see any features of Unreal 5 being covered, do let me know. Just hop in the chat and say what you want to say, and I'll definitely look at it. And your iMac is 2010, that is not going to happen. Even like high-end laptops from high-end desktops from 2010 won't run this at all. So yeah, animation isn't that interesting for me. The blend space is pretty cool. I think that's to blend in animations together. And also meta sound is really cool. Like the rendering pipeline. Wait, let's see. Oh, analog to a fully rendering pipeline. Yeah, you can basically procedurally generate audio. So that's also really cool. You can make a ton of cool stuff with that. And here physics. So chaos is really interesting. It also has lightweight and it looks really good. So here rich body dynamics, animation, destruction. And the destruction is so interesting. I really want to try this in VR, like hit buildings and see stuff flying around. Also rectals also always are fun. Physics field vehicles, fluid simulations. Again, also in something I want to play around with. Like Unreal 4 already had quite alright fluid simulations. Like it looked pretty realistic. The reflections were a bit off, of course. It's really hard to run. So yeah. Also, a Mac Pro from 2010 highly upgraded. Unless it has a really modern GPU, it won't do it. Like, 2010, I think that's on DDR3, maybe the start of 4. And it would probably be like a quad core and maybe a 6 core. I'm really guessing here, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I doubt it would run. So here we got the animation notes. Oh, that's also interesting. So we got video here. Oh, so you can here see all the items which are attached to the body. And here the cloth physics, which always looks cool. It just adds some immersion if there are cloth physics in the clothing. It's also just really easy to integrate now, I think. And here's destruction. Why is there no video? I want to see it. Yeah, chaos vehicles. Wait, does it actually have deformation also? I don't think so. No. I mean it does look really realistic, that's for sure. Physics system. Oh! With the physics fields, you can just apply different gravity or something, or add physics to an object. Oh, that's also really cool. So the green ones are where you cannot walk, I think, and then these are for all the objects flying around the Titan. Oh, that's really cool. And asynchronous physics. Is there some performance metric I would need to see? I mean, this is for performance really good. Like, if your game is physics heavy, this should improve performance a lot. Like, having it async. That means it's not just one rendering thread. Sure. I mean, the coding stuff isn't that interesting for me yet. This is really interesting, the memory analysis. Unreal Turnkey, no clue. So we got a mobile deferred renderer, that's pretty cool for performance. Ooh, a new VR template. Using OpenXR, that's amazing. And it also uses, it's for both quests, with the Link, Rift S, Index 5. That's really cool. Definitely going to look into that. But now I'm working into Unity, it's quite alright, and you can make anything with it basically. But I do wonder how easy or hard it is to work in Unreal for that. You can upgrade the SDK, so you got the PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. I don't see the Series S in here, but I think it should fall under the same thing. The HoloLens, Steam VR, basically anything you can imagine. So there's Visual Studio, of course, the SDK, that's fine. Not going over all of this. If you want to read this, just go to the post, you can find it. The migration guide shouldn't be that hard, indeed it isn't. So here's the chaos, the old physics versus chaos. And this will probably emulate the physics a bit differently. Can't say anything more about that. So here's the new style, the content. I can here add the number of players, that's interesting. Also wonder, will they add Fortnite using Nanite and the new ray tracing stack for global illumination? I really do wonder. They do have ray tracing now in Fortnite, which is insane for an FPS. So there's a ton of stuff here. I'm not reading through all of this, of course. Progress bars, that's really handy. Didn't they have this in like Unreal 4 progress bars? That's so nice to have though. The creation is easier, sure, I'll believe it. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's really cool. You can have like multiple multiplications, I think. Yeah. Ah, that's cool. Like, it doesn't look like much, but if you have like a huge ass blueprint script, this does change it quite a bit. Alright, so the old stuff which is deprecated now does work. That's good. Alright, next one. The new red. Oh wait, we were looking at performance. I totally forgot. Don't mind me, I'm just being an idiot. So we got rendering right there. So we got hardware ray tracing and it's supported right here. Now let's see how it performs. That's the real question. It's still compiling. Oh, it needs to recompile all the shaders. I forgot that was a thing. Oh, this is going to take so long. It's still at 40%. Oh boy. Maybe I should not have done this. But sure, let's look at more features, I guess. I'm going to stop the stream after we looked at the new performance for the ray trace acceleration. So do stay tuned for that. So here we got global illumination and reflections, technical details, visual shadow maps. All right, that's pretty cool. So here we got Lumen. Just enable it. Static light is disabled. That's logical because it is real time. Like you can't have static lights. So global illumination. It uses infinite diffuse bounces. So like that it becomes a soft shadow. That's really impressive, not gonna lie. Yeah, Nanite, sure. Oh, this also looks pretty... Like volumetric fog always looks good. And also emissive materials also look quite alright. That's pretty cool. Yeah, the reflections here are just really pretty. So diffuse, the skylight between all reflections, clear coat materials. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can see like the reflections in here and also like the world view. Ah, that's nice. I'm not sure if it says anything about the ray tracing here. Because a lot of the stuff either is hardware or software ray trace, at least in the beginning. It has to be. Is the software how traces are performing? Yeah, yada yada. Lumen's software. Oh, it just used software in the beginning. Damn. Sure, whatever. Additional notes. Bent normal maps. That looks really good. So on the left is just GI on a skeletal mesh. The middle is material bend, and it's material bend and screen traces re-enabled. Not quite. Oh, it likes add another layer of shadow, I think. But damn, that's really impressive. How can you live with the cookie notification? Oh wait, like here, my audio. Let's not look at it. I actually did not see this. Thanks for telling me. That might have annoyed quite some people there. Yeah, of course we got screen tracing. That's reflections. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Damn. So yeah. Lumen has features. It's called screen first. Called screen tracing or screen. No. Reliable methods. No hits are found. Plus behind the surface. Greatly with the art direction. Let's see. So it does use software ray tracing. Then that's really impressive that the performance is still good because software ray tracing is really heavy to do. So here's Lumen ray tracing. So we got the... Oh, it's a visualization. Yeah, I'll just skip over this. I'm actually getting quite tired here. Okay, thin meshes don't work well. That's quite expected, I guess. Like, it's really hard to do things for that. So the limitations, geometry. Alright, I'm not going to read all of this. I'm just going to look at the pretty pictures. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's what I noticed. Like, it looked like they were merged into one. So that's actually true. Nanite does not use the structure itself. Oh. So it uses this for the shadows, I think. It shouldn't render just this because this doesn't look that great. Again, this is definitely something to look into. Because if it would actually render back like this, that wouldn't be that impressive. Yeah, large worlds, this is looking insane. That's amazing. Foliage not well supported. Alright, that's definitely good to know. That's definitely good to know that like trees and stuff don't work that well. That was my first thing, like a massive forest. Translucent material will not have high quality. That's fair. Alright, Epic for 10 GPU on next gen consoles. For 4K with DAA, it's a high. Fair. That's good enough. Alright. That's pretty cool. So I'm still not sure how they pull this off. I have no idea. Yeah, how does it work? Yeah. During import, meshes are analyzed and broken down into clusters of triangles. Alright. And during rendering, the clusters are swapped at the fly, varying levels based on the camera view and connect perfectly without any cracks to the neighboring cluster with the same object. Data streamed in on demand so that only the visible details needs to reside in memory. Nanite runs on its own rendering pass that is completely bypassed by traditional draw calls. That's pretty cool. And visualization can be used. Alright. That's good to know. Like, it does actually kind of bake LODs. Not really, but that's cool. Amazing. So here for the mesh, you can build it for Nanite. Oh, if you don't enable this, it should just work like normal. That's again pretty cool. I think that's just most of the stream. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Still not done. Damn. Increase shadow resolution. Oh, with Nanite. Yeah, of course. Everything is based around Nanite. Alright. So again, yeah, that looks pretty good. Seen this already. Oh, the scene. Let's look at it. Oh, so you can adjust the point light radius. Like 0, everything is sharp, and if you increase it, they get more soft shadows. Oh, that's actually... Like, this doesn't look bad at all, but this just looks so much better. So here's the shadow quality. Alright, I don't see much of a difference. This would not be worth the performance, probably. That's fine that you are going to go. I'm probably streaming for another, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes until I look at this. And then I will also quit the stream. But thanks for tuning in. And yeah, it definitely looks epic. Get it like Epic Games last year? Sorry, bad joke. Alright, let's dive back into the details. Again, I'm not going to read everything anymore. I'm quite tired. That's also really good. Like how they manage the shadows. Normally you have like triangles around it and you see a hard cut. That it's divided into chunks is really good. I think it would help with quality a lot. So that's awesome. Yeah, again, like this. That's really cool. Alright, so it caches it, that's fine. Alright. World building features. Not too interested, really sorry. Animation, also not... IKs are still really cool. Like procedurally animating. That's always amazing. So yeah, you can enable it. Like, you don't have to animate it, you can just move around the feet and the whole body goes with it. I love that stuff. Like, you can do so many things with it, and especially for VR. Like, if you just track your hands and your head, like this, you can make really realistic movements. So again, that's quite cool. Just makes this thing now, everything is quite cool. Alright, I'm quite interested in the physics. So yeah, you got items, of course. Cloth physics. Yeah. Yep. Alright, I think we already saw this. So new input, that's pretty cool. I do know that some people had issues with Unreal 4, like some input things. Don't know that many details though. Oh, so it's in a different plugin. Alright. So it's enhanced? Fair. It uses actions. Yes. Actions are so much better to work with if you do it properly, of course. Alright, yeah, sure, I'll take it. Yeah, let's quickly skim through this. Not that interesting. I mean, the new meta sounds is really interesting, like procedural generation of audio. Should be really cool. So right here we got meta soundsy guide, audio sources, quick start guide. Let's see what pictures they got here. Like, it should not be that hard. So you got a plugin. Oh, you got an on-play, unfinished. Fair enough. I think this, if you like look into it and know how to work with blueprints, this should be really easy to figure out. Of course, not really easy, but it should be doable. Turnkey. For some reason, I always read Unreal Turkey. My dyslexia is kind of kicking in right now. Too much text. Yeah, and here's the sample asset. It's just again really impressive. So this is really meant for high-end systems. You got the editor modes. It actually goes really in depth. That's really cool. Like, it actually is a learning project. That's amazing. Gotta give them props for that. Are we done? We are done. Oh boy, performance is not looking good at all. Let's just press play and hope for the best. And please don't crash on me now. I think performance will be worse. Which is interesting. But it's also kind of logical. So we are really like GPU bottlenecked. So we don't have enough VRAM for this. That's also good to know. But we were already GPU bottlenecked. And this adding more load onto the GPU with ray tracing just doesn't cut it with my 3060. Like you see in the top left, I don't have that much VRAM left. Like I'm already like almost a gig over my VRAM limit. That's probably the main thing for performance right now. So I'm quite sad I cannot test this because I am really interested like what performance it would have. So that's, yeah, sure, turn it back down a little. We don't that much quality, of course. So yeah, art by ray tracing turned off. Sad to do this, but it has to be done. And override, sure. Is there anything else here? Streaming? What's streaming? Basically async stuff. Sure. World partition. Not sure why this is disabled. It should be enabled, I think. And here's stuff for the editor. But yeah, I'm definitely going to stop the stream for now because I'm getting really tired. As you can see, it's 11:30 p.m. So thank you for watching the stream. I think the stream was really popular, so that's amazing. I might just stream some Unreal stuff again in the future. So stay tuned for that, and I hope I can see you in another video or live stream. I'm out.